Hi guys, FrostFangs here and welcome back once again to another episode of Frost Talks. Now, I asked you guys over on Twitter what you wanted to hear me talk about, and a lot of people said my first ever game that I played and my favourite series of games that I've ever played. Now, if you follow me on Twitch and Twitter, you'll know the answer to these questions already, probably. But I'm trying to move away from just making videos about Smite because I want Frost Talks to be a general series. I don't want it to be just related to Smite. I want it to be able to be about anything. So if you have any other things you want to hear me talk about, let me know in the comment section down below. So I'm going to be talking about my first game that I remember, anyway, and my favourite game. Now, my first game, I think I played at like the age of 3 or something silly. This is that I remember. I probably played games before this, but this is the one that I remember the most and have more positive memories about. Ants for the PlayStation 1. Now, if you've seen the movie Ants, I remember it as being quite good. And I remember also renting the game, or my parents rented it for me because I was like 3 or something silly. Ants. It was freaking incredible. The game, I looked at some gameplay the other day of it, and oh my lord, is it ugly. The game is ugly, the game looks horrible, but it was fun. And at the time, it was a freaking good game. That's all I can really say about Ants. There isn't really much to go in detail about that. The second thing which I can go into detail about is my favourite game, or my favourite series, Ratchet and frickin' Clank. I know a lot of people like Ratchet and Clank, and they also like Jak and Daxter. I'm also one of those people that like Jak and Daxter slightly less than Ratchet and Clank though, because I played a lot more Ratchet and Clank. But Ratchet and Clank was such a good game. The first one was incredible, the second and the third one were also pretty damn good. Deadlock was a bit weird. I still really enjoyed it. It was a bit weird because it kind of went off track a little bit, but it was still a pretty cool game, especially considering that it incorporated co-op, which was really nice. And it also had multiplayer, I think. I'm not sure. I don't think it did. No, it didn't have multiplayer. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. The other games after that, I didn't pay too much close attention to. There was, I think like Size Matters was one that I played, but I was a little bit older, so I wasn't that interested in it. There were all the ones for like PlayStation Portable and all that stuff that I wasn't interested at all in. There was the All for One, which was basically all the older games ported over to the PlayStation 3, which was fucking amazing, by the way. Being able to play all your older games in a high definition was really awesome. But now the thing that sparked me to talk about this is the fact that they've released, it's not really even a reboot, it's more of a retelling of the original Ratchet and Clank for the PlayStation 4. Now, I've watched about 3 hours of the first 3 hours of this game on YouTube because it looks so good, and it's a reimagining of like the way they wanted it to be for the PlayStation 1. But obviously there were technical limitations at the time because not the PlayStation 1, sorry, the PlayStation 2 is what I was meant to say. But there were very technical limitations to what they could do because of the graphics and stuff and the hardware at the time. But now, since the hardware's evolved so much, they could do it closer to what they had in mind. And I think they did a fucking fantastic job. Ratchet and Clank for PlayStation 4 looks incredible. And the reason I love the series is the gameplay is fantastic, the weapons are amazing. There's even comedy in there, which is funny. Some of it's super low tier, like the guy called Skid McMarks. Things like that. They'll give you a giggle every now and again. They're not too advanced, but there are some other bits of humor that really do make you laugh. The one that I saw straight away at the start of the game that made me laugh was the guy that you see at the start of the first game for the PlayStation 2, which I played not that long ago because I saw PlayStation 4 Ratchet and Clank, which made me want to play PlayStation 2 Ratchet and Clank, and it was so funny because he made a reference to himself, and he made a joke about it, saying, "I'll see you in the next reboot." It was super cool, it made me laugh out loud. I just love the Ratchet and Clank series. I really wish I could afford a PlayStation 4 and then afford Ratchet and Clank to play it, because honestly it'd be probably my game of the year. Ratchet and Clank has just got such a sweet spot in my little heart and has triggered nostalgia throughout my entire life whenever I see that series. I just love Ratchet and Clank, I really do. So, as I said, if you guys have got any more things you want to hear me talk about, let me know in the comment section down below. I will see you guys all tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. And as always, stay frosty.